Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to cover how to change, or how to remove, I should say, remove and then install door panel on a V5, S4, and A4. I'm taking this panel off because I have blown speakers and throughout the car, and I've been wanting to upgrade. So I went ahead and bought a set of speakers, but not just the stock speakers. I put a set of or I'm going to install a set of our 3D printed carbon fiber infused PETG 3D printed speaker adapters. So these bolt in the stock location with that hole, and then these other two in the center here, and bolts in the stock location. And it's stock speakers a 4-inch. With these adapters, you can run a 5 1/4. That's what's one of the nice things about it. So I just have nothing special here, just a standard run-of-the-mill coax. I think this is a Polk brand, 5 1/4. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this panel, install the speaker, the adapter, and then while I'm in there, I'm gonna go ahead and change out the interior pull handles. I powder coated these matte black, and I want to go ahead and change them. I just like the look of it, the chrome delete. So I'm going to go ahead and show how to do this. It's really not that difficult. I've already actually started removing some screws here. So there's only 4 screws that actually hold the door panel on, and you have one at the back. I've already removed it. And you have one at the front right here. I've already removed it. And then you have this little, it's already off, but I'll show you this little piece here. It just snaps in. That little tab there, it's literally you just pop it off. Not a big deal. Once you get those exposed, there is a screw. Let's see if I can show this. So there's this screw hole right here. Once you remove this screw, that allows you to rotate this center piece down. Like, you just kind of get in here with a screwdriver and just kind of pry down, and it allows this whole piece to rotate, and it exposes these 2 screws. Once those 2 are out, that's the 4 total that hold it, and you just want to kind of just push up from the bottom with your hand just to break it free, because it has to lift up to clear this door lock rod knob. So I can't do this with the phone. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and I'll set the phone down, but I'm going to go ahead and you can see when I start hitting the bottom, it's kind of lifting off. If it hasn't been off in a long time or ever, then it can be a little bit more difficult, but it's really not that hard. So I'm going to go ahead and set the phone down, and I'll get this panel removed. All right, so the door panel's off. I haven't undone anything yet. What you're going to see when you get it down is you're going to have your door window switch wiring plugged in. You're going to have wiring up here, which goes to, I believe, the speaker, and then you have this. First thing you're going to want to do is just take a small flathead and just pop this clip off and lift this cable out. And if you open up this little slit, you're going to see a little hook, and that's for that's actually for the pull handle, interior door pull handle. So I'm going to go ahead and set the phone down. I'll pop this clip off and remove this. Okay, so I have the door handle cable release removed. So this is what I was talking about. It's just a hook. Once you pop that clip out, then this just unsnaps from the hole. That usually will come out on its own, but if not, you have to unhook it. So I went ahead and pulled the front wiring. This is just under here, just plugs in. That's all pretty self-explanatory. I don't think anything can go multiple ways, so you can only do that one way. The switches down here, you're going to want to take a picture of before you even touch them. That's why I haven't unplugged them yet. See how there's a red one? I think there's like a tan, a black, maybe a blue. I can't remember, but you're going to just, try to get from underneath with your flash on, so you can, in case it's dark, and just take a good photo of this so you can see how these go, because you can get these wrong. Next thing you know, you roll your driver's window switch down and the right rear window goes down. So just a quick tip there. I'm going to go ahead and unplug these wires, and that would be the last bit before this panel can be completely detached from the door. Alright, so this is the door with the panel fully removed. One thing I did forget to mention, this plug here. It's just for your mirror switch, but that's just one other plug. So you have your group up here at the front that unplugs, this guy here in the middle, and then these here for the window switch. So door panel's off. We don't have to do anything in here. I mean, I guess it'd be a good time to change a motor or regulator if you needed to, but we don't in this case. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this door panel, set it on a stand, and flip it over and show how we're gonna remove the speaker. All right, so we have the panel on the stand. I've already started to lift this off. So you're just gonna, you know, speaker's under here. You're just gonna wanna, like this was pushed underneath like that. So you're just gonna wanna lift that up off of there, pull up in here, and just right on this corner, there's, I guess that's what they call dum-dum. It's like a sticky, almost like gum, to hold that on. And then you're gonna wanna lift it off over here as well. And then that will expose your screws here for the mounting. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those and get this speaker off. All right, so I have the 3 screws out. These little connections for the speaker just removed. It's just a spade, and you can't get them wrong. One's bigger, ground is the black one is smaller around, or, you know, smaller in, you know, width there, as you can see. So once those are off, just remove the speaker. As you can see, this is the factory Bose, which is blown. And on that note, these use a 2 ohm because of the amplifier. It's just what Audi did with these back in the day. It was somewhat common. So these are not 2 ohm speakers. I just want to go over that. This is, I personally don't have an issue with them. I mean, you're probably not going to get maybe the full amount of volume, I guess, when you go to a 2 ohm without actually, you know, going away from the factory amp and running either right from the radio or right from a separate amplifier. So I just wanted to cover that now. This is more or less just showing you how to get the speakers in. If you choose to use the 4 ohm speakers with the 2 ohm, you know, in place of a 2 ohm, that's up to you. If you don't, that's fine too. But anyway, I just want to go over how to install it. So now that one's out, we're going to figure out the fitment, like as far as getting this in here, where it's going to go. We've got to pull the screws out of the package for the speakers to mount these 4 ears onto here. So I'll go ahead and get that done, and then we'll go ahead and install it. All right, so speaker adapter is in. Just want to note the one tab that's up here faces the top bolt, you know, the top of the door panel, I should say. These 2 are at the bottom, and you can just use the original bolts. They're like a red color, painted red. You can just put those right back in to hold this in there. So now that this is in, we're going to go ahead and put our speaker in. I've got to still get my hardware yet from the speaker box that it came in, and then that's going to bolt on, and then of course our wires are going to go on here. So it's pretty straightforward, as you can see. The only thing that can become an issue is if you get a speaker that has a huge magnet, or just in general is really deep, I should say. You're going to have clearancing issues when the window goes down and whatnot. So you're going to want to be careful with that. There's a I don't want to say there's a spec somewhere, but there is a number somewhere that I believe I've seen published for like the maximum that you want to get. So I'll see if I can get that, put it on my website, and that way you can, you know, go online and check the specs on the speakers before you get it and go to install it and get it surprised. So I'm going to go ahead and install these and hook the wires up, and we'll go ahead and next thing we'll do is get to the door handle to go ahead and change that out. It's my fancy expensive weight. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that and set the phone down so I can get these bolted in. All right, so speakers all bolted in, wired up, everything's secure, looks good, fitment should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this foam back around. It's tough working with one hand here. And that is back in. Push this all down where it needs to go. Back up against that adhesive. Just kind of push it all the way in everywhere. So we're good there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and, well, not flip it over. I gotta get access to the back side here so I can remove the screws that are holding, of course, we now have a door stop, the screws that are holding the handle in. So I'll show that too. All right, so just like the speaker, you're gonna peel this foam away and back to get access to it. There's our tweeter. there's our screw and then an electrical connector. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's just a little more difficult to do in the panel. I could probably get in here and get this out to change just the handle and not touch this, but I'm just gonna do it the conventional method and pull this screw and show how to change that out. All right, so the screw is out, and if you can, it's really tough to see with the light, but there are two little tabs right here that have to be pressed in. Once you press those in, this interior handle piece is going to come out through the bottom and front first, because you can see this piece here where the cable attaches is kind of in the way. That's not going to drop down. The front has to drop first. So I'll go ahead and get this out and show how to remove this handle. All right, so I've got it out. So there's the tabs you can see right there that you have to press. One thing I didn't tell you, you're going to want to access this plug. So it's underneath here. You just kind of lift it up. You lift it up and it just snaps in right there. So you're going to want to get that out, because that'll allow it to come down. And then the tweeter is easy to remove. You just lift this little metal pin out of that hole, and then the tweeter will just hang there. So at this point, we can pop this whole piece out. I can do this one-handed. Okay, so we've got this out. This is our original chrome handle, and I don't know if you saw earlier in the video, I didn't mention it, but it's something that I noted. The spring seemed to be not holding the handle. It was always like right there. Even when you pressed it in, it would come back out. Here's why. It looks like the spring is broken. There's supposed to be a little arm coming off of that spring that rides right in that little hole. It's missing, so that's why there's not as much tension as there should be. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that while it's out, but I'll show how to remove this handle. Okay, so what we need to do here, this is the powder coated handle. If you look, if I can get it in the right light here, see how it looks like almost like a Torx, the end of a Torx screwdriver or Torx bit. That's pretty much how it engages. So this little pin, this piece right here that had the spring, that should be right here, but it's broken. I'm going to show, a lot of guys struggle with this. It's really easy to change or to get this out. All you're going to do is just wedge a flathead screwdriver. I doubt I can do this one-handed, but you're going to put that screwdriver right there and start twisting like that. And I'm not going to be able to do this with the phone, but as you start to do that, you're going to notice right here, that pin where it's sticking through, you're going to notice it's starting to retract in through the hole as it lifts out. Once you do that, the piece of the spring, which sucks that it's broke, because I can't show you what's going to happen, but when you start to pry this out, that spring piece is going to kind of start to go like that. And at that point, you're just going to take a pick or your fingernail and just get under there and lift it out of that groove, and then it'll sit over here, and then you just go in and again just give it a little twist and the whole thing will pop out. So I'm going to go ahead and set the phone down and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now you can see the pin's not sticking through anymore, and now you can start to see those splines. So I've got it loose. I'm going to pull it out, and now you see that's the mating side, what looks like the Torx bit. So when I lift this up, there's your handle. So simple as that. So now we're going to put, obviously this new handle is going to go in there, and this is going to go right back in the same way it came out. The difference here is I actually have to dig up a spring. I'm going to have to go upstairs and pull one out of a damaged door panel. But that's basically it. Once I get that, I'll show how to put it back in, and that's, everything else is in reverse order from that point. All right, so I went upstairs and robbed one out of a door panel that I had upstairs. So this one, you can see the spring clip extension is here. So I've already went ahead and stuck my screwdriver in here, twisted it, started to lift it. And then as it starts to come out more, this is what I was talking about, where you'll see that start to bend. So this is where you have to get under here. It's a screwdriver. Or your finger if you're not able to get it that way. It's just awkward holding the phone. Sometimes you have to pull it out more, and then like that, and then the spring becomes an issue because it's in the way. So was hoping to show you this without, there we go. Okay. Now, that's out. So now, side by side, you can see the difference here. That one, the spring is broken. I don't know that you can get the spring off because it's kind of, it's like bigger on the end. I'm just going to change out this whole piece. So that's about it. Pretty much reverse order for everything else. Thanks for watching.